Hey, everybody. Get ready for a super fun story that's going to grab your attention and not let go. Imagine a bright, sunny Saturday afternoon, the kind of day that's just perfect for relaxing outside. The birds are chirping, the sky is blue, and there's a nice little breeze blowing through the trees. That's where we meet Jake. Jake is our main guy, and he's just a normal dude like you or me. He's not super fancy or anything, he's just Jake. And the one thing Jake loves more than anything else in the whole wide world? His hammock. Yup, that's right, a hammock. You know, one of those cool swingy beds you hang between two trees. Jake had tied his up in his backyard, and he was so excited to spend the day chilling out. He had a cold drink in one hand, maybe some lemonade or soda, and a good book in the other. He was all set for a lazy, happy day. Picture it, Jake climbing into his hammock, giving it a little push with his foot so it sways back and forth. The trees above him are making little shadows on his face, and he's smiling because everything feels just right. He's thinking, this is the best day ever. He can hear kids playing down the street, maybe a dog barking somewhere, and the smell of fresh grass is all around him. It's the kind of moment where you just want to close your eyes and forget about everything else. Sounds pretty peaceful, doesn't it? Like nothing could go wrong. But guess what? Things are about to get crazy, really crazy. Now, let's talk about the other big character in our story. Across the fence from Jake's house lives a lady named Karen. And Karen isn't just any neighbor, she's the boss of the neighborhood HOA. HOA stands for Homeowners Association, which is like a club that makes rules for everyone who lives in the area. Karen loves rules. She loves them so much she's like the queen of the neighborhood. If there's a rule about how tall your grass can be or what color your mailbox should be, Karen knows it. She's got a big, thick rule book that's probably heavier than a stack of school books, and she carries it around like it's her treasure. Her eyes are super sharp, too, like an eagle's. She's always watching, always checking to make sure everybody is following her rules. Karen's house is right next to Jake's, and her backyard shares a fence with his. From her window, she can see everything Jake does. And on this sunny Saturday, while Jake is kicking back in his hammock, Karen is peeking out. She's got her arms crossed, her lips all tight, and her eagle eyes are locked on that hammock. To Jake, it's just a comfy spot to relax. But to Karen? Oh boy, it's like a big red flag waving in her face. She doesn't like it one bit. Why? We'll find out soon, but let's just say Karen's about to make Jake's day a lot less chill. See, Jake doesn't know it yet, but his perfect afternoon is about to turn into a wild adventure. He's just swinging there, sipping his drink, turning the pages of his book, and thinking life is awesome. He's got no clue that trouble is sneaking up on him like a ninja in the night. And the trouble's name? Karen. She's got something up her sleeve, something big. Nobody in the neighborhood knows it yet, not even Jake, but Karen's hiding a secret. A huge, juicy secret that's going to shake everything up. What is it? I'm not telling you yet. You'll have to stick around to find out, because the story is just getting started. Let's set the scene a little more so you can really picture it. Jake's backyard is pretty normal. He's got a little patch of grass, a couple of big trees that are perfect for hanging a hammock, and that wooden fence running along the side. The fence is tall enough that Jake feels like he's got some privacy, but not so tall that Karen can't peek over it if she tries. His house is a small one, just right for a guy like him. It's painted blue, with a little porch out front where he sometimes sits with his dog, Buddy. Buddy's not in the story today, though he's probably napping inside. On the other side of the fence, Karen's place is different. Her house looks super neat, like she spends all day cleaning it. The grass is cut perfectly, the bushes are trimmed into little squares, and there's not a single weed anywhere. She's got a sign in her yard that says HOA President, and it's so shiny you can see your face in it. Karen takes her job seriously, maybe too seriously. She's the kind of person who walks around with a clipboard, writing down every little thing she doesn't like. Trash can left out too long. Mailbox needs paint. Hammock in the backyard. Yup, that's Karen. And today, Jake's hammock is her target. So there's Jake, rocking gently in his hammock, totally happy. He's wearing a t-shirt and shorts, his flip-flops kicked off on the grass below. His drink sweating in the heat, leaving little wet rings on the book he's holding. He's probably reading something fun, like a mystery or an adventure story about pirates. He's got no worries, no problems, just him, the sunshine, and his cozy little spot. He doesn't hear Karen muttering to herself yet. He doesn't see her glaring at him from her window. He's in his own little world, and it feels great. But across that fence, Karen's world is very different. She's pacing in her kitchen, her phone in one hand and her rulebook in the other. She's flipping through the pages, looking for anything she can use to get that hammock out of her sight. Hammocks aren't allowed, she says to herself, even though she's not sure if that's true. She just doesn't like it. It's too messy, too lazy, too Jake. And Karen doesn't like Jake. He's too relaxed, too chill, too everything she's not. She's decided, that hammock has to go, and she's going to make it happen. This is where the fun begins. Jake's chill day is about to crash into Karen's rule-crazy world, and it's going to be a showdown nobody saw coming. Will Jake keep his hammock? Will Karen win? And what's that big secret she's hiding? You're going to love finding out, because this story is full of surprises. But before we go any further, I've got a question for you. Where are you watching from today? Let me know in the comments. Are you at home, at school, maybe outside on a sunny day like Jake? Tell me, I want to hear. And if you're excited for what happens next, stick around, this is just the beginning. Okay, let's jump back into the story. Jake is in his backyard, just chilling out. His hammock is swinging back and forth between two big trees, and he's feeling super relaxed. The sun is shining, his cold drink is dripping little wet drops onto the grass, and he's got his book open on his lap. Everything is calm and quiet, well, almost everything. Jake's minding his own business, not bothering anybody, when suddenly he hears something. It's a sound he can't ignore, tap tap tap. Sharp, loud, and getting closer. He looks up, and there she is, Karen, stomping across her yard toward the fence that splits their houses. Karen's shoes make that tap 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 noise on her perfect patio, and Jake knows trouble's coming. She's got her arms crossed tight, her eyes squinting hard, and her mouth set in a straight, angry line. She stops right at the fence and stares at Jake like he's done something awful. Then she points straight at his hammock and yells, "That hammock's an eyesore." Her voice is loud and sharp, like a teacher scolding a kid for running in the hall. "It's ugly. It's ruining the neighborhood. Take it down right now." Jake just blinks at her. He's still in his hammock, one leg dangling over the side, and he's thinking, huh. He doesn't get why she's so mad. To him, the hammock is awesome. It's cozy, it's fun, and it's his favorite spot. But to Karen? It's like the worst thing she's ever seen. She keeps going, waving her finger like she's pointing at a big mess. "It's against HOA rules," she barks. "I'm not kidding, Jake. If you don't take that thing down this second, I'm calling the cops." Now, Jake's not scared yet, he's just confused. He tilts his head and looks at her, still holding his book. The cops, he thinks. For a hammock. It sounds silly to him. He knows the HOA rules because he checked them when he moved in. He's not dumb, he made sure his hammock was okay. The rules say you can have stuff like that in your yard as long as it's not too wild. And his hammock? It's just a plain old hammock, blue and white, tied up nice and neat. Nothing crazy about it. But Karen doesn't care about what's true. She doesn't even care about the real rules. She just wants things her way, all the time. Karen's face is getting red now, like a tomato. Her voice is louder, too, bouncing off the trees and the fence. "I mean it, Jake," she shouts. "I'm not playing around. That hammock is breaking the rules, and I'm done looking at it. You've got 5 minutes to take it down, or I'm dialing 911. Jake sits up a little in his hammock, still not saying much. He's watching her, trying to figure out why she's so worked up. Her eyes are big and wild, and her hands are shaking a little like she's really, really mad. He can tell she's serious about that phone call. She's not joking. But here's the thing, Jake isn't worried about himself. He knows he's not doing anything wrong. He's just sitting there, thinking, okay, Karen, go ahead and call. See what happens. He's calm on the outside, but inside, he's starting to wonder what's going on with her. Why is she so loud? Why does she care so much about a hammock? It's just a piece of fabric and some rope. He doesn't know it yet, but something bigger is bubbling up. Trouble is coming, and it's not for Jake, it's for Karen. She's got no clue what's about to hit her. Let's picture the scene a little more. Jake's backyard is small but nice. The grass is green, though maybe not as perfect as Karen's. His 2 trees are tall and strong, holding the hammock up just right. The fence between their yards is wooden, a little old, with some paint peeling off. It's high enough that Jake feels like he's got his own space, but Karen can still peek over if she stands on her tiptoes or maybe if she drags a chair over. She's the type who'd do that, you know? Always spying, always checking. Karen's side of the fence is super different. Her yard looks like a picture from a magazine. The grass is cut short, the bushes are shaped like perfect little boxes, and there's not a single leaf out of place. She's got a fancy patio with shiny stones, and that's where she's standing now, yelling at Jake. She's wearing a bright pink shirt and white pants, and her hair is pulled back tight. She looks like someone who's always in charge, or at least, she thinks she is. In her mind, she's the queen of the neighborhood, and Jake? He's just a guy who's messing up her perfect little kingdom. Jake stays quiet while Karen keeps shouting. "I've had enough," she says. "You think you can just do whatever you want? Not in my neighborhood." Her voice is so loud now that a bird flies out of a tree, scared off by all the noise. Jake's still swaying a little in his hammock, watching her like she's a show on TV. He's not mad yet, he's just waiting to see what she does. He knows she's all about control. She loves telling people what to do, like where to park their cars or how to hang their Christmas lights. And now, she's decided his hammock is her next big fight. But here's where it gets interesting. While Karen's yelling and pointing, something's hiding in the background. Jake doesn't see it yet, and Karen definitely doesn't. She's too busy being mad to notice anything else. Her phone is in her hand now, she's holding it up like a weapon, ready to call the cops. She thinks she's winning. She thinks she's going to scare Jake into taking down his hammock. But what she doesn't know is that trouble's already on its way, and it's not coming for Jake. It's coming for her. Think about it, Karen's so sure she's right. She's so sure she's got all the power. She's standing there, yelling about rules and cops, and Jake's just sitting, letting her talk. He's not arguing, not fighting back, just watching. And that's what makes this moment so cool. The tension is building, like when you're waiting for a balloon to pop. You know something's going to happen, but you don't know what yet. Is Karen really going to call 911? Will the cops even care about a hammock? And what's that trouble that's sneaking up on her? This is the part where you start to feel it, the excitement, the wonder. Jake's calm, Karen's loud, and something big is hiding just out of sight. It's like a storm cloud rolling in while the sun's still shining. Jake can tell she's not bluffing about that call, her thumb's already hovering over the buttons on her phone. But he's not scared. He's curious. And us? We're curious too. Because whatever's coming, it's going to flip the story upside down. Stick around, because this is where things start to heat up. Alright, let's keep this story rolling. Things are about to get wilder, so hold on tight. Karen just stormed off, super mad, with her phone clutched tight in her hand. She's already pressing buttons, calling the cops like she promised. Her tap 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 shoes echo as she marches back to her perfect patio, her face still red and her eyes all squinted. She's yelling into the phone, probably telling them about Jake's hammock and how it's the worst thing ever. Jake. He's not worried. He just shrugs like, okay, whatever, Karen, and stays right where he is, swinging in his hammock. He takes a big sip of his lemonade, the ice clinking in the glass, and leans back. He's not going anywhere. A few minutes pass. Jake's flipping a page in his book, enjoying the sunshine, when he hears something new. It's not Karen's yelling this time, it's sirens. Loud, wailing sirens, like the kind you hear when a fire truck or police car is coming. Jake sits up a little, his hammock wobbling under him. Wow, he mutters to himself, she wasn't kidding. He didn't think she'd really call the cops over a hammock, but here they are. He slides out of the hammock, his flip-flops hitting the grass, and tiptoes over to the fence. He peeks over, just enough to see what's going on, but not so much that Karen will spot him. And then he sees two police cars rolling down the street. Their lights are flashing red and blue, spinning around like a carnival ride. Jake's eyes get big. He's thinking, this is nuts. All this for my hammock. But here's the funny part, the cars don't stop at his house. Nope. They slow down and park right in front of Karen's place. Jake's eyebrows shoot up so high they almost touch his hair. "Wait, what?" he whispers. This isn't what he expected at all. He leans closer to the fence, trying to figure it out. Karen's out there now, standing on her perfect lawn, waving her arms like she's directing traffic. She's still holding her phone, and she's yelling at the cops as they climb out of their cars. Jake can hear her voice, loud and bossy as always. "Over there," she shouts, pointing at Jake's yard. "That awful hammock. It's against the rules. You need to make him take it down." She's so sure the cops are here for Jake. She's practically bouncing, thinking she's won. But the cops? They're not even looking at Jake's hammock. They're not looking at Jake at all. Jake watches, his mouth open a little, as the two officers walk toward Karen. One of them is tall with a big hat, and the other's shorter, holding something in his hand. It's a piece of paper, folded neat and official looking. The tall cop says something to Karen, but Jake's too far to hear it all. Karen's still talking, her arms flapping like a bird, but the cops aren't nodding or smiling. They look serious, super serious. Jake squints, trying to catch what's happening. Then the shorter cop holds up that paper and says something loud enough for Jake to hear bits of it. "Ma'am, we're not here about a hammock." Karen stops flapping her arms. Her face changes like she's confused all of a sudden. Jake's leaning so hard against the fence now that it creaks a little. He's dying to know what's going on. The cop with the paper keeps talking, and Jake catches a few words: investigation and HOA funds. Huh? Investigation? HOA funds? What does that even mean? Jake's brain starts spinning. He knows HOA is that neighborhood club Karen runs, the one with all the rules. And funds means money, right? Like the money everybody pays to keep the neighborhood nice? Jake's not sure what it all adds up to, but he knows one thing: this isn't about his hammock anymore. Something bigger is happening, way bigger. He watches as Karen's face goes from red to white, like all the color just falls out of it. She's not yelling now. She's just standing there, staring at the cops like she doesn't know what to say. The tall cop pulls out a little notebook and starts writing stuff down, while the shorter one keeps holding that paper. Jake figures it's something important like a permission slip, but for grown ups. Maybe it's a warrant. He's seen those on TV shows, a paper that says the cops can look around your house if they think you did something bad. Now Jake's really curious. He's still peeking over the fence, his hands gripping the wood. What was Karen up to, he wonders. She's always acting like she's perfect, always bossing everybody around with her rulebook. But now the cops are at her house, not his, and they're talking about money and investigations. Did Karen do something wrong? Did she break her own rules? Jake's starting to think maybe Karen's not as perfect as she pretends to be. Maybe she's hiding something sneaky. Let's imagine the scene a bit more. The police cars are parked right on Karen's driveway, their lights still flashing. Her shiny HOA president sign is sitting there in the yard, looking silly now with the cops around. The neighbors are starting to peek out, too. Old Mr. Jenkins down the street opens his curtains, and the lady with the loud dog sticks her head out her door. Everybody's wondering what's up. Jake can feel it, the air's getting buzzy, like something exciting is about to pop. Karen's still trying to talk to the cops, but her voice isn't so loud anymore. "This is a mistake," she says, waving her hands again. "I called you. I'm the one who needs help." But the tall cop shakes his head and says something Jake can't hear. The shorter cop points at that paper, the warrant, and Karen's shoulders slump. She looks smaller now, not like the big, bossy queen she was 5 minutes ago. Jake's lemonade is sitting forgotten on the grass, his book still open in the hammock. He's too hooked on this drama to care about relaxing anymore. This is where the story starts to twist. Jake's just watching, piecing it together little by little. The cops aren't here for him, they're here for Karen. And it's not about some silly hammock. It's about something serious, something secret. HOA funds keeps bouncing around in Jake's head. Did Karen take money she wasn't supposed to? Was she being sneaky while she told everybody else what to do? Jake doesn't know yet, but he's got a feeling he's about to find out. The tension's growing, like when you're waiting for the best part of a movie. Karen thought she was in charge, calling the cops to get Jake in trouble. But now the cops are at her door, and she's the one looking scared. Jake's hammock swings empty behind him as he keeps spying. He's not sure what's next, but he knows it's going to be good. What was Karen up to? Why are the cops really here? The answers are coming, and they're going to surprise everybody, especially Karen. Okay, everyone, this is the most exciting part of the story. Things are about to get super crazy, so get ready. Jake's standing by the fence, peeking over at Karen's house. The two police cars are parked out front, their lights flashing red and blue, spinning like tops. The cop's tall guy with the hat and shorter guy with the paper don't even look at Jake's hammock. Not even a tiny glance. Instead, they walk straight past Karen, who's still waving her arms and yelling, and head right for her front door. Their boots thump on her perfect patio, and Jake's eyes get big. What's happening? Karen's voice changes fast. She was loud and bossy before, telling the cops about Jake's awful hammock, but now she sounds scared. What's going on? She screeches, her words all high and shaky. She's not in charge anymore, she's freaking out. The tall cop pushes her door open, and the shorter one follows him inside. Karen runs after them, her pink shirt flapping, yelling, "Hey! You can't just walk in here." But the cops don't stop. They're on a mission, and it's not about a hammock. Jake's hammock is still swinging behind him, empty now, because he's too busy watching this wild show. He leans closer to the fence, his hands gripping the wood tight. Jake's heart is beating fast. He's not sure what's coming, but he knows it's big. The cops are inside Karen's house now, and he can hear muffled voices through her open door. Karen's screeching gets louder, then quieter, then louder again, like she doesn't know what to do. Jake's thinking, this is nuts. Did she really call the cops over my hammock, and now they're after her? He's dying to know more. He pushes up on his tiptoes, trying to see through her windows, but the curtains are in the way. All he can do is listen and wait. And then bam, it happens. The big twist. The tall cop comes back out onto the porch, holding some papers in his hand. The shorter cop is right behind him, and Karen's stumbling after them, her face all white and sweaty. The tall cop turns to her, his voice loud and clear, and says, "Ma'am, we're not here for a hammock. We're here for you." Jake's jaw drops. Karen freezes like a statue. The cop keeps going, "You've been skimming thousands from the HOA account." Whoa. Jake nearly falls over. He grabs the fence to steady himself, his flip-flops slipping a little on the grass. "Thousands," he whispers to himself. HOA account. His brain's spinning like a top. He knows the HOA is that neighborhood club Karen runs, and the account is where everybody's money goes like a big piggy bank for fixing stuff or planting flowers. Skimming means taking some of that money sneaky like, right? So Karen's been stealing. Karen's face looks like a ghost's now, all the red is gone, and her eyes are huge. She's shaking her head, saying, "No, no, no. That's not true." But the cop doesn't budge. He holds up those papers, proof, maybe, and says, "We've got evidence. Thousands of dollars, gone, and it all leads to you." Jake's mind is racing. Karen, the lady who's always yelling about rules, always bossing everyone around, has been breaking her own laws. She's been pocketing cash that belongs to the neighborhood, stuffing it in her own pockets like a sneaky thief. And here's the best part, she called the cops herself. Jake can't believe it. He's standing there, still holding the fence, and he almost laughs out loud. Karen thought she was so smart, dialing 911 to get Jake in trouble for his hammock. But instead, she accidentally brought the cops right to her own front door. They were already looking for her, and her call just made it easier. Jake's hammock? They don't care about it at all. It's Karen they want, and now they've got her. Let's picture this moment. The cops are on Karen's porch, tall and serious, their badges shining in the sun. Karen's standing there, her arms hanging limp, her phone still in her hand like she forgot it's there. Her perfect yard doesn't look so perfect anymore with those police cars parked all crooked on her driveway. The neighbors are watching now. Mr. Jenkins down the street is out on his porch, and the dog lady's peeking through her gate. Everybody's whispering, pointing, wondering what Karen did. Jake's still by the fence, his lemonade warm and forgotten on the grass. His book's fallen out of the hammock, pages flapping in the breeze, but he doesn't care. This is way better than any story he was reading. He's watching Karen, the rule-enforcing tyrant, the lady who told him his hammock was an eyesore, get caught red-handed. She's not the queen of the neighborhood anymore. She's just a lady in big trouble, and it's all her own fault. The tall cop starts talking again, telling Karen they've been watching her for a while. We got tips, he says. People noticed missing money for the playground, the streetlights, stuff like that. It all traced back to you. Karen's shaking now, her voice all wobbly. I didn't do anything, she cries, but it sounds fake. The shorter cop pulls out handcuffs, shiny silver ones, and Jake's eyes get even bigger. Handcuffs. This is like a movie. Karen's yelling turns to whining. You've got the wrong person, she says, stepping back. But the cops step forward, calm and steady. The tall one says, we've got bank records, signatures, everything. You're coming with us. Jake's head is buzzing. Bank records? Signatures? That means they've got real proof, stuff Karen can't wiggle out of. She's been sneaking money for who knows how long, acting all high and mighty while she broke the rules she loved so much. Jake thinks back to all the times Karen bossed him around. Cut your grass shorter, she'd say. No loud music, she'd snap. And all along, she was the one doing something wrong, something way worse than a hammock in a backyard. He shakes his head, amazed. The irony is huge. She wanted to get him in trouble, but she got herself caught instead. The cops are done talking now. The shorter one takes Karen's arm, gentle but firm, and the handcuffs click around her wrists. Click click. The sound echoes across the yard, and Karen gasps. This is a mistake, she squeals, but nobody's listening. Jake's heart is pounding. He didn't expect this. The big reveal is here. Karen, the HOA queen, is a thief, and her own 911 call turned into her downfall. This is the peak of the story, the moment everything flips. Jake's hammock is safe, Karen's in deep trouble, and the neighborhood's about to change. The cops lead her toward the car, and Jake can't look away. What happens next? Oh, it's going to be good. All right, let's wrap this up. The big moment just happened, and now it's time to see how it all ends. The cops have Karen right where she belongs, her hands behind her back. The shiny silver handcuffs go click click around her wrists, locking tight. She's wiggling and squirming, trying to talk her way out of it. This is a mistake, she cries, her voice all loud and whiny. You've got the wrong person. But the cops? They're not listening. They shake their heads and keep moving her toward the police car. They know she's lying, they've got proof. Turns out, the cops had been watching Karen for weeks. Yup, weeks. They didn't just show up because of Jake's hammock. They'd been sneaky, keeping an eye on her, waiting for the perfect time to catch her. Jake's hammock complaint, the one Karen called 911 about? That just made things happen faster. She thought she was getting Jake in trouble, but really, she handed the cops the chance they needed. Funny, right? Her own big mouth got her caught. The tall cop and the shorter one lead Karen to the squad car. Her pink shirt is all wrinkled now, and her face is red again, not from yelling, but from being scared. Neighbors start peeking out. Old Mr. Jenkins steps onto his porch, squinting to see better. The lady with the loud dog opens her door, whispering to her husband. Everybody's watching, talking quietly to each other. What did Karen do? They're asking. Why are the cops here? Jake's still by the fence, and he can't help it, he's grinning big. This is wild. Karen keeps sputtering excuses as the cops open the car door. I didn't mean to, she says. It's not my fault. But nobody believes her. The shorter cop pushes her head down gently, and she slides into the back seat. The door slams shut, bang, and that's it. She's caught. Jake watches the lights on the police car flash as they pull away, taking Karen with them. His hammock swings behind him, safe and sound. No more Karen yelling about it. No more rules about silly stuff. She's gone. Later, Jake hears the whole story from a neighbor. Karen had swiped over 10 grand, that's $10,000. She took it from the HOA money, the cash everybody pays for things like fixing the playground or keeping the streets nice. She'd been sneaky, taking a little here and a little there, thinking nobody would notice. But people did notice, and they told the cops. Now, Karen's headed to jail. No more bossing people around. No more HOA queen. Just a lady in big trouble. The neighborhood feels different after that. lighter, happier. And guess what? They throw a little party to celebrate. Where? Right by Jake's hammock. People bring snacks and drinks, and they laugh and talk under the trees. Jake swinging in his hammock again, sipping lemonade, smiling big. The HOA is free from Karen's iron grip, and everybody's glad. Justice is served, and it feels awesome. Okay, friends, we're at the end of this wild ride. Let's take a minute to think about what happened. So, there you have it, a big lesson wrapped up in a crazy story. Sometimes, the loudest complainers, the ones who shout and boss everyone around, are hiding the dirtiest secrets. Isn't that funny? Karen was the loudest of all, always yelling about rules and pointing fingers at Jake. She acted like she was perfect, but deep down, she was the one doing sneaky, bad stuff. And Jake? He's just a regular guy who wanted to chill in his hammock. He didn't want any trouble, but Karen's own nosiness tripped her up and brought her down. It's kind of cool when you think about it. Jake didn't have to fight or yell. He just stayed calm, sipping his lemonade, while Karen's big plan backfired. She thought she was so smart, calling the cops on him, but she ended up getting herself in huge trouble. Makes you wonder, right? Sometimes the people who act all big and tough, the ones who point fingers and tell you what to do, might be hiding something. Maybe they're not as perfect as they want you to think. Maybe they're scared you'll find out what they're really up to. This story's got me thinking about life. Have you ever met someone like Karen? You know, someone who's always complaining or telling you what's wrong with you. Maybe they're loud about little things like a hammock or a messy yard, but they're hiding something bigger. I bet you've seen it happen. Like that kid in class who's always tattling on others but cheats on their homework. Or that grown-up who's super bossy but forgets to follow their own rules. What do you think ever met a Karen who got what was coming to them? Tell me below. I'd love to hear your stories. Here's the awesome part, Jake didn't have to do much. He just kept being himself, and the truth came out. That's kind of inspiring, don't you think? You don't always have to fight back or get mad. Sometimes, staying cool and letting things play out works just fine. Karen thought she had all the power, but in the end, she lost it all because of her own choices. It's like a reminder: be nice, be fair, and don't try to hide sneaky stuff, because it might come back to bite you. Thanks for hanging out with me today, buddies. I had so much fun telling you the story about Jake, his hammock, and silly old Karen. It's been a blast watching it all unfold: cops, handcuffs, and a big party by the hammock. I hope you liked it too. We'll do this again soon, okay? I've got more fun stories up my sleeve, so stick around. See you in the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget, drop your thoughts below. Did this make you laugh? Did it make you think? Let me know.